Hey, I'm Keith. Thanks for checking out the template. Let's listen to what Robot Me has to say, and I'll be right back. First, we venture into the labyrinth of the Setup tab. Within its walls lie 4 kingdoms: expenses, income, product, services, and invoice status. Tread lightly. These automated wizards are both handy and territorial. You can add companions, but don't mess with the established order. And behold, the realms of shipping terms. They only spring to life on the sacred parchment of invoices. Next, we unroll the scroll of the Customers tab. Here, you etch the names of your faithful patrons. These names will be summoned when invoking the mighty spell of Invoice automation. Our adventure leads us to the grand citadel of the Invoice tracker. All right, robot. Okay, let's look at the Setup tab. Let's see. All right, you can change all of these things, and the template will work fine. I would suggest leaving these alone because they're involved in formulas. I'm going to just gray those out. I would suggest leaving those alone, and then you can add whatever you want down here. You can fill these up if you want. And the same goes with these. You can put whatever expense categories that you want, but these are taken directly from the Schedule C form. So if that's what you're using this for, you might just want to leave these as they are. Now over here, where it says product and services, this section is used in making the invoice. So if you want to have invoices made automatically, just put in the name of your product and the price, the name of your product or service and the price, as many as you want here. And then these are also on that tab. You'll see more about these when we get there, but you can customize the status of your invoices. And then down here, these are also on the invoice. When we talk about the invoice, you'll see what you might need these for. Let's look at the Customers tab. Okay, so this is also used in the invoice automation. So if you plan on using that, you should include whatever information you want to appear on the invoice. Okay, and you'll see on the invoice what it looks like in a second. So anyway, that's the Customers tab. And now let's see what the robot has to say about the invoice tracker. This is the heart of our realm. It feeds data to the rest of the lands, but it needs your guidance. Plug in your tax rate, conjure invoices with order numbers, and select customer names from the royal drop-down. Beware the gray columns, they are enchanted to fill themselves. The scroll to the right is where you choose your items and quantities. Like a potion, it brews the right numbers automatically. And if you seek the holy grail of invoices, simply chant the order number at the top of the page. All right, robot. Okay, so this invoice tracker is where a lot of the automation happens. This is kind of where everything pulls its information from. I guess the first thing you want to do is put in your tax rate here. So when you're going to make a new invoice, you put an invoice number in, the date, choose a name, choose a due date, add the discount if there is one, and then scroll over here to the right. And this is where you put your items in. Remember that from the Setup tab, your items and the cost. So if you just choose an item here, it will automatically fill this in. You have to put in the quantity. If you don't put in a quantity, it will use 0 and the invoice will show 0, and that's not good. So that's it. You just follow along here. If there's another item, you do it here. Don't forget the quantity. And there's 5 items here. That should be good, right? If you need more, contact me. And after you fill those in, it automatically fills in all of these things in these gray columns here. And you can put the invoice status in if you need to create an invoice. Oops. Which actually is what we'll do now. So if you're ready to create an invoice, you put in right here the invoice number the way it is over here. So you just take this number and put it here, and it will take all of this information and it will automatically create this invoice. See, here's the information from the customer page. So if you don't want their address in there or don't need it, just leave it blank. And this is where you choose the shipping things and the terms. These are all on the setup page. I said we would get to them, and I did. Yeah, that's it. Now let's go back and see what the robot has to say. I think we're talking about income and expenses. Welcome aboard the galleon of the Income tab. Just jot down your invoice number and watch as the ship's log fills itself from the riches of the invoice tracker. But wait, look yonder. That's the ship of other income, where you as the captain manually log your extra bounty. Remember, negative amounts are like pirate booty. They're just refunds in disguise. We now journey to the solemn halls of the expenses tab. Like a dutiful scribe, record your date, amount, and select the category. Fear not. These categories bow to your will. You can change them in the setup tab. All right, here we are on the income tab. If you just put in the invoice number, like we did before, if you put in the invoice number from the invoice tracker page and the date, it automatically fills in all of that information. So your invoices are all covered as long as you just put in the number and the date. And then for all of your other income, whatever it may be, you put it over here. Just scroll to the right and you put everything else over here, including returns. When you do returns, just record them as a negative. That makes sense, right? It's because it's coming off. It's a return, so it's negative. And yeah, that's it. As long as you have the date and the negative amount for returns and the date in the category, you're good to go. Now let's look at expenses. Yeah. So you just put in the date, the amount, choose the category. And remember, those are all set up on the setup tab for you. And put in a description if you want. And that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and look at the profit and loss while I have you, because it takes the numbers from the income and expenses tab and it automatically generates this awesome profit and loss template. It's a little more complicated, but we'll take a look at that in a second, okay? Behold, the wizardry of the profit and loss template, as if possessed by a helpful ghost. It fills itself out, using the knowledge it gleans from the income and expenses realms. Sorcery, it's the magic of automation. Now, let us stroll through the bustling cityscape of the data tab. Populate the P&L template with your business info, and remember, down in the basement of this bustling metropolis, you'll find handy worksheets for your vehicle expenses, cost of goods sold, and home office tax deduction. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so this is the data tab he was just telling you about. The information from this data tab goes to the profit and loss sheet. So in order to put your business name and address on the profit and loss, you just fill out this top section, like right here. Now, all of these gray things come from your income and expenses, but down here where it says worksheets, there are some things you might want to include. In cost of goods sold, you can put in your beginning inventory and ending inventory if there is one. Otherwise, it takes everything from your expenses categories. Here's your mileage information for the year and parking and expenses for business use of home. If you do that, you can do that math right here. So 1, 2, 3 little worksheets, and that information will make your P&L more accurate. It all goes right in here. Okay, let's see what Robot has to say. We warp into the future with the dashboard, the crystal ball of your business. Choose your month for a glimpse into your monthly fortunes, or scroll down to gaze upon the tapestry of your annual insights. And finally, we arrive at the Sacred Links tab, your portal to the ancient texts of the IRS Schedule C form and instructions. Use them wisely, brave adventurer. Thus ends our grand tour of the Profit and Loss Google Sheets template. Remember, in this realm of numbers and formulas, you are the master of your destiny. Adventure awaits. Hey, okay, you just select your whatever month that you're into. Just select it here. There's this drop-down menu. You select it and everything changes. Down here is the annual information. All of these things will populate. All this stuff takes care of itself. So you just look at it. And yeah, that's it. All right. So now we have a little recap of all the things the robot has been kind enough to put together for you. Let's take a quick pit stop at memory lane. Remember, the Setup tab is like the control center of your spaceship, helping you manage your expenses, income, products, services, and much more. Keep everything in check and your spaceship will run smoothly. And don't forget your trusty companions, the Customers tab. It's like a Christmas list, but for your customers. Next up, the Invoice Tracker, your very own treasure map guiding you through the landscape of your business finances, automated and efficient. Like a trusty robot sidekick, it does all the work so you can focus on the adventure. Your path to financial success is carved out by the income, expenses, and profit and loss tabs. These are your tools, your weapons, and your guides. Arm yourself with knowledge and conquer the world of business. Before we jet off, a quick glimpse at the Data tab. This futuristic hub of information is your key to maximizing those tax deductions and keeping track of your business info. Finally, the dashboard, your very own time machine. Look back at your past achievements, check out your present status, and get a glimpse into the future of your business. And there you have it, folks, the grand tour of the Profit and Loss Google Sheets template. Remember, every great adventure begins with a single step, or in this case, a single tab. So, get out there and make your business the adventure of a lifetime. Wait, hold on to your spreadsheets, folks. You thought we were done, didn't you? Plot twist. Because everyone loves a shortcut. Why explore the universe when you can just teleport there? Why climb the mountain when you can just helicopter to the top? And why bother with our spectacularly useful, yet mildly complicated Google Sheets template, when you can use this rudimentary, fill in the blanks profit and loss template instead? I'm just joshing you. We get it. Sometimes you just need the basics. So, here it is, your very own get out of spreadsheet free card. Remember, folks, whether you're cruising through galaxies of financial data or just making a pit stop at Profit and Loss Station, the adventure is all yours. Happy journey. Hey, okay. So, when I was making this video, I realized this is maybe a little complicated. So, included in your purchase, I'm just including as a bonus a link to this bare bones spreadsheet. This is super simple. You go to the Data tab, and here you just fill in these things yourself. You just fill it in. Put in the numbers here. There's some worksheets at the bottom, like before, and it will automatically populate this template. So to find it, like when you make your purchase, you get this PDF, and this is the regular template. And then get your bonus spreadsheet here. You click on that, and you will get the bonus spreadsheet that you can do without going through the hassle of filling everything out, expenses and customers and whatnot. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Bye.